Hey Switch fans, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today, we're diving into the hidden gems of the Nintendo Switch library, those incredible games that might have flown under your radar, but absolutely deserve your attention. Let's jump right in. Dredge is this surprisingly addictive fishing game that takes a dark turn into Lovecraftian horror territory. You're a fisherman who arrives at a remote archipelago to make a living, but the waters here hide something sinister. During the day, you'll cast your lines, catch fish, and sell them to upgrade your boat with better equipment and expanded cargo space. The fishing mechanics use a simple, timing-based minigame that feels satisfying without being tedious. But when night falls, that's when things get creepy. Strange creatures lurk in the fog, your sanity meter starts draining, and you'll see things that make you question what's real. The game has this brilliant risk-reward system, where the best fishing spots are in dangerous areas, and staying out at night yields rare catches but puts you in serious danger. You'll slowly uncover the dark secrets of the islands through side quests and main story missions that reveal why these waters are so cursed. The boat management and upgrade system keeps you constantly working toward that next improvement, whether it's faster engines or better fishing rods. It's cozy and terrifying at the same time, which sounds weird but somehow works perfectly. Moonlighter puts you in the boots of Will, a shopkeeper who dreams of being a hero and exploring the mysterious dungeons that appeared near his village. The game brilliantly splits its time between dungeon crawling at night and running your shop during the day. When you're in the dungeons, it plays like a fast-paced action roguelite, where you'll fight monsters, dodge attacks, and collect loot across procedurally generated floors. Combat is simple, but requires good timing and positioning. You can equip different weapons from swords to spears to bows, each with distinct attack patterns. Here's where it gets interesting. The items you find have unknown values at first, so you need to experiment with pricing in your shop to figure out what customers will pay. Set prices too high and nobody buys, too low and you're leaving money on the table. The money you earn goes into upgrading your shop, improving the town, and buying better equipment for deeper dungeon runs. Some items have special properties, like taking up extra inventory space or damaging nearby items, adding this inventory puzzle element to your looting. The loop of dungeon diving to stock your shop, then managing prices and customers to fund better gear, is incredibly satisfying. Raidou Remastered, the mystery of the Soulless army. This is a Shin Megami Tensei spin-off that ditches the traditional turn-based combat for real-time action set in 1930s Japan. You play as Raidou Kuzunoha, a detective who's secretly a devil summoner, someone who can capture and control demons to fight alongside him. The story involves investigating mysterious cases in the Japanese capital while uncovering a larger conspiracy involving the military and supernatural forces. Combat happens in real time, where you directly control Raidou with his sword while commanding demons to use their abilities. You can capture demons by weakening them in battle, then use them as party members with different elemental strengths and skills. The demon fusion system lets you combine two demons to create stronger ones, which is essential for tackling tougher enemies. What makes this different from other SMT games is how demons are used for exploration too. Some can scout ahead, others can fly you across gaps or find hidden items. The investigation segments have you talking to NPCs, finding clues, and piecing together mysteries before the action sections. Pizza Tower is absolute chaos, in the best way possible. It's a fast-paced platformer inspired by Wario Land that's all about momentum and destruction. You play as Peppino, an anxious Italian chef whose pizza restaurant is threatened by the titular Pizza Tower, so he storms the place to save his business. The gameplay is built around maintaining speed and combo chains as you run, bash, and uppercut your way through levels. Unlike most platformers where you carefully navigate obstacles, Pizza Tower wants you to go fast and destroy everything in your path. The faster and more destructive you are, the higher your score. Each level has you racing to find a timer at the end, then escaping back through the level with a countdown clock, creating this intense rush. The controls are incredibly responsive, with moves like a shoulder bash, grab attacks, and a super jump that you'll chain together in satisfying ways. Boss fights are creative and test your mastery of the movement options in unexpected ways. The hand-drawn animation is expressive and wild, with Peppino's face constantly showing his panic and stress in hilarious ways. Rogue Legacy 2 perfects the formula of the first game, where you explore a procedurally generated castle, and when you die, your heir continues the journey with different traits and classes. The story follows your family's curse as generation after generation enters the castle, seeking to end it, with each ancestor adding small pieces to the larger narrative. Combat is tight 2D action platforming, where you'll dodge enemy attacks, learn patterns, and use your class abilities strategically. There are over a dozen classes, from the standard knight and barbarian to weird ones like the chef, who cooks enemies for health, or the bard, who has to attack to the beat of the music. Each heir has random traits that can help or hinder you. Some are useful, like extra damage. Others are challenging, like dyslexia that scrambles text. And some are just cosmetic but hilarious. The progression system is smart. Gold you collect is spent on permanent upgrades before entering the castle, so even failed runs make you stronger. You can lock down the castle layout for your next heir if you want to attempt the same path, or let it randomize for variety. New abilities unlock as you progress, like dashes and air kicks that open up previously inaccessible areas. Slay the Spire basically created the deck-building roguelike genre, and it's still the best at it. You're climbing a mysterious spire, fighting enemies using a deck of cards that represents your attacks, skills, and powers. Each run starts with a basic deck, and through battles, you'll add new cards, remove weak ones, and find powerful relics that modify how your deck functions. The genius is in how cards combo together. You might build a deck focused on applying poison damage over time, or one that gains massive armor and exhausts cards for powerful effects, or dozens of other strategies. There are 4 characters, each with completely different card pools and playstyles that feel like separate games. Combat is turn-based, where you draw cards each turn and use energy to play them, trying to kill enemies before they kill you. Between fights, you'll choose paths on a map. Do you fight elites for better rewards but higher risk, visit shops to buy cards, or rest to heal? The randomness keeps every run fresh, but you're making meaningful decisions constantly. Boss fights test your deck's strategy and force you to adapt if your build has weaknesses. Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo is a smartly designed, top-down action adventure that quietly stands out on Nintendo Switch thanks to one central idea, executed extremely well: the yo-yo. You play as Pipit, a young bat who becomes unwillingly bound to his powerful aunt when her soul is shattered, turning his yo-yo into both a weapon and a constant source of sarcastic commentary. The story leans into humor and personality, but it also gives clear motivation as you explore a colorful city divided into districts ruled by eccentric bosses. Gameplay revolves entirely around mastering the yo-yo, which is used for combat, puzzles, and traversal. You can throw it straight, curve it around corners, bounce it off walls, activate distant switches, and even move across hazards using trick-based movement, giving every room a small, puzzle-like feel. Combat rewards positioning and timing rather than button mashing, while exploration follows a light Metroidvania structure, encouraging backtracking once new abilities are unlocked. A badge and upgrade system lets you customize playstyle, sometimes introducing temporary drawbacks that add strategy to progression. Cult of the Lamb mixes roguelite dungeon crawling with cult management sim in this darkly adorable package. You're a lamb saved from sacrifice by a chained deity who tasks you with building a cult in their name and freeing them from imprisonment. The dungeon sections have you exploring procedurally generated areas, fighting enemies and bosses with fast-paced combat using different weapons and curse abilities. Combat is simple but satisfying, with dodge rolls and combos. Plus, you'll unlock new weapons and power-ups during runs. Between dungeon runs, you're managing your cult followers back at base, building structures, performing rituals, giving sermons, and keeping your followers loyal and alive. Followers need food, shelter, and spiritual guidance, but they also die of old age or can get sick, creating this constant management loop. You can perform dark rituals for powerful bonuses like resurrecting dead followers or sacrificing them for favor with your deity. The cult management has surprising depth, with different doctrines to choose that shape your cult's beliefs and unlock new abilities. Followers have individual traits and preferences, so keeping everyone happy takes strategy. Unicorn Overlord is Vanillaware's love letter to classic tactical RPGs, and it's absolutely massive. You play as the exiled Prince Elaine, who must build an army to reclaim 5 nations from the empire that conquered them. The story spans multiple kingdoms, with political intrigue, betrayal, and a diverse cast of over 60 recruitable characters. What sets this apart from other tactical RPGs is the real-time combat system, where you position units on the battlefield and they auto-battle based on tactics you set beforehand. You're arranging each unit's skill priority, conditions for using abilities, and positioning within their squad. It sounds hands-off, but there's tons of depth in unit composition and tactical setups. You can pause any time to reposition units or reassess the battlefield. Between battles, you'll explore towns, recruit new characters, gather resources, and take on optional quests that flesh out the world. The class system is extensive, with each character having unique promotion paths and abilities to unlock. Your army grows as you liberate regions, and you'll manage multiple squads with different roles like frontline fighters, ranged attackers, and support units.
You'll see no harm. I shall protect you. We strive together. I trust you.
Demonschool is a distinctive tactical RPG on Nintendo Switch that blends supernatural mystery with grounded school-life storytelling. You follow Faye, a new student arriving at a remote island university where demons, strange rituals, and hidden dangers quickly disrupt everyday campus routines. The narrative balances light horror with humor and character-driven moments, letting relationships and dialogue shape the tone as much as the central mystery. Gameplay is built around a grid-based combat system that emphasizes planning over raw numbers. Instead of committing actions instantly, you carefully plot movement and attacks during a planning phase, freely rewinding and adjusting positions to set up efficient combos before executing everything at once. This makes battles feel more like solving spatial puzzles than traditional turn-based encounters. Outside combat, progression is tied to managing student life. Scheduling classes, training, and social activities influences character growth, unlocks abilities, and deepens bonds with a diverse cast of classmates. Exploration of the island campus, optional side activities, and relationship building all feed back into combat effectiveness, giving the game a strong sense of cohesion. Neo, The World Ends With You, throws you into modern-day Shibuya, where you play as Raidou, a teen who suddenly finds himself trapped in the Reaper's game, a supernatural battle for survival, where teams compete in daily missions or face erasure from existence. The combat system is real-time chaos in the best way, letting you control multiple party members simultaneously, using psychic pins that have different attack patterns and abilities. You'll juggle between characters, chaining attacks together to build up your groove meter for devastating combo finishes. The pin system has hundreds of abilities to collect and level up, from fireballs to lightning strikes to sword slashes, and you can customize your loadout to match your playstyle. Between battles, you're exploring the streets of Shibuya, talking to NPCs, shopping for gear that boosts your stats, and eating food at restaurants to permanently increase your abilities. The story deals with friendship, second chances, and fighting against a system designed to control you, with memorable characters and plot twists that hit hard. The art style is vibrant, with anime-inspired designs and graffiti aesthetics that perfectly capture Tokyo youth culture.
Good. Hang in there. Yes, got it. Nice one, Rin, dude.
Harvestella is this unique blend of farming sim and action RPG, set in a world where seasons are controlled by giant crystals called sea slights. You arrive in a small town during Quietus, a season of death that occurs between normal seasons, where crops wither and people can't go outside without getting sick. The farming is your standard plant crops, water them, harvest, and sell routine, but it's integrated naturally into the exploration and combat loop. You'll spend your mornings tending your farm, then venture out to dungeons and towns to progress the story and gather resources. Combat is real-time action, where you can switch between multiple jobs like Fighter, Mage, and Skylancer, each with distinct abilities and weapons. The job system lets you mix and match skills from different classes to create your playstyle. What surprised me most is how strong the story is. It tackles themes of mortality, environmental collapse, and found family as you recruit companions with their own deep backstories. Each party member has personal quest lines that flesh out the world and their motivations. Dungeons have light puzzle elements and platforming sections, mixed with combat encounters. Chained Echoes is a love letter to classic 16-bit RPGs, but with modern quality-of-life features and surprisingly deep systems. The story follows a group of warriors, mages, and mercenaries caught between three warring kingdoms as ancient mechs called Sky Armors are rediscovered and threaten to restart a devastating war. The turn-based combat uses an overdrive system, where your position on a meter determines your effectiveness. You want to stay in the green zone for maximum damage, but certain actions push you toward the yellow and red zones, where enemies get stronger. It creates this risk-reward tension, where you're managing your position while planning attacks. Characters can chain abilities together for combo attacks, and each party member has skill trees you'll customize as they level up. What makes it stand out is the lack of random encounters. In experience grinding, enemies are visible on the map, and you gain rewards from chests and completing tasks instead of grinding levels. The Sky Armor battles add variety, where your party pilots giant mechs with different abilities and weapons, completely changing combat dynamics. Dungeons have environmental puzzles that use character abilities, like blowing up walls or freezing water to create platforms. Pepper Grinder is this incredibly creative action platformer, where your main tool is a giant drill that you use for movement, combat, and puzzle solving. You play as Pepper, a treasure hunter whose loot gets stolen by narwhals, so you chase them across islands using your powerful drill. The drill mechanics are the star here. You burrow through soft terrain in any direction, building momentum as you go, then launch out at high speeds to cross gaps and reach new areas. You can drill through enemies to defeat them, spin the drill in water to propel yourself like a submarine, or use it on special gears to launch in specific directions. Each level introduces new ways to use the drill, from minecart sections where you're grinding on rails, to underwater segments where you're navigating through currents. Boss fights are creative and test your mastery of the movement system in unexpected ways. The game emphasizes speedrunning, with tight level design that rewards skillful play and finding optimal routes. You'll collect coins to spend on cosmetics and health upgrades between levels. The hand-drawn art style has this grungy, tactile quality that makes the world feel lived in and dangerous. Dave the Diver combines deep-sea diving adventure with sushi restaurant management in the most addictive gameplay loop on the Switch. You play as Dave, a retired diver who gets pulled back into the business to catch fish for a sushi restaurant in the mysterious Blue Hole, a location where the ocean layout and creatures change daily. During the day, you're diving with limited oxygen, spearing fish, dodging aggressive sea life, and completing underwater missions. The ocean is gorgeous, with vibrant coral reefs, dark trenches, and mysterious ruins to explore. You'll catch fish to serve in your restaurant, but you need to balance quantity with quality. Rare fish fetch higher prices, but are harder to catch. At night, you're running the sushi restaurant, hiring staff, upgrading your menu, and serving customers in a time management minigame. Money earned goes toward upgrading your diving gear, like bigger oxygen tanks, better weapons, and equipment for accessing deeper areas. The story slowly reveals mysteries about the Blue Hole through quirky characters and unexpected plot developments that go way beyond what you'd expect from the premise. And there you have it, 15 hidden gems on the Nintendo Switch that deserve way more attention than they're getting. These games prove that some of the best experiences on the system aren't always the biggest releases. If you enjoyed this list, hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content.